Hi everyone, if you do not know what this is, it means that you're not a homeowner yet. Basically, I got myself a home! After 6 weeks of excruciating home viewings, right, with the help of Jason and Ella, I finally secured myself a unit. And if you're in the same situation as me, I suggest you engage their help. They are super patient, very helpful, and most importantly, they give you very good advice. I will give you their Facebook page down below, so please go and check them out. Oh, and I mentioned I didn't pay COV. Now I'm going to share with you my experience during this journey of finding my home. What are some of the things that I did that helped me, and also what are some of the mistakes that I made along the way. If you're not aware, Singapore resale prices has been going on the rise since 2020, and that is due to COVID. A lot of young couples who are not willing to wait for BTOs, they are rushing into the resale market to buy a unit. I was actually caught off guard by this, and as a single who is buying a resale flat, it is like Ip Man trying to fight with a group of people. You can imagine going into a price war with a couple or an entire family. I would say it is really siao lah. But anyway, here are some of the things that I think is good for you to take note when you are searching for a home. Tip number 1, loans. If you are a single and your income is above 7,000, you are not eligible for a HDB loan. So bank loan is your only options. For a couple is 14,000 and for a whole family is 21,000. Second tip, loan calculation or assessment. For any HDB purchase, your income assessment for loan is curtailed by 2 factors, TDSR and MSR. So for you to know whether you can get a proper house within your means, right, it is best to always get an official bank assessment before you go for a house hunt. Third tips, the mind games. In the current market, sellers have very high expectations and the property agents have the duty to meet those expectations. This is especially so for units that just got MOP or coming to MOP soon. Hence, if you are going out there alone, right, you need to do your homework before you go out for a war. My suggestion is you head to this HDB resale flat prices website to check out the latest sold transaction for the areas you are looking at. It is very easy to use and you can get some good insight on the prices that was transacted recently. Fourth tip, the COV. In this current market, COV is super common. And in the HDB website I mentioned earlier, sadly, there is no indication of how much COV was being paid by the seller. So you have to prepare yourself to pay some COV upfront. And this can be managed if you check on the asking price that they wanted, your own budget, so that you quote the price that you want, because what they ask is what they wanted, but it might not be what you want to offer as well. And also check the last transacted prices as a rough gauge. That way you can roughly tell how much COV you will need. Of course, a professional help will be better, but if you do not want to go for an agent, right, yep, this is the best thing you can do. And tip number 5, which is the HDB portal. For anybody who want to buy a HDB first, right, first thing is you log into your HDB portal first. Our government did a very good job in making everything easy for us. If you are ready to buy a house, log into the website, register your intent to buy. You will be asked to fill in some particulars as well as your income and CPF, I think. And there will be a simple assessment for you to do a rough gauge on how much you can afford out to. But this is not an official loan assessment, by the way. So if you are taking a loan from HDB, you have to do a proper HDB loan assessment later. If you are getting a bank loan, then yes, go to a banker and get a proper loan assessment. After you register this intent to buy, it is valid for 12 months, which is more than enough time for you to get a unit on your own. Okay, now back to my story. It might be boring for you, so you can skip it since the tips are already mentioned. But it might give you an idea why did I change from house hunting alone to getting Jason and Ella to help me. I started off hunting for a house by myself, only looking at 5-room flats. And for the benefit of those who do not know what is a 5-room flat, it is just a 3-bedroom HDB flat with a bigger living room lah. The plan was to get my family to move in with me and then rent out their old place, because their current unit is a 4-room flat, 37 years old, and is depreciating like crazy already due to And any people here with the intention to buy a house, right, you will always start with Property Guru first. Which, to your surprise and to my surprise, the prices for a 5-room flat is crazy in Singapore everywhere, except for maybe Gip Ojisan's favorite place, Yishun. I went to 5 different home viewings for myself, and the seller agents will really mind game you. all sorts of sales tactics you can imagine, right? They can do even more than that. But I don't blame them because they are just trying to help the sellers get more money lah. So anyway, the thing you can do right is to just do your homework, which is why you need to refer to tip number 3. The craziest price I was quoted to get, or rather to offer for a house, is a 5-room flat on the 8th floor at 798,000, and that is not even in the prime area. Nothing central, it's already in the suburb area already. Anyway, after 5 viewings for 2 weeks, right, I felt that I'm going nowhere. This is when I decided to reach out to Jason and Ella for help. They helped me sell my unit before, so I know that they are trustworthy. It wasn't an easy journey for them as well because I was a first-time resale flat buyer. I was quite picky, and also the prices are really crazy, and I couldn't afford a lot of COV. And this is what they did for me when they first met me. They assessed my income level as well as my current financial level, my CPF, my savings, etc. Then they advised me to go for a 4-room flat instead of a 5-room flat because it is likelihood out of my means. Next, they passed me a banker contact for me to do a formal bank loan assessment because they feel that bank loan is better for me since the interest rate now is very low and the banks are very competitive, so they are giving up very good packages. And that's what I did. I did a formal assessment, and thank God I didn't go and exercise any option to purchase for any 5-room unit because I cannot afford a 5-room flat because my loan is not even 400,000. Heng ah. The funny part about this journey is there are some sort of fate at play. If the house is meant to be yours, it will be yours. I have a unit that I wanted to make an offer just 30 minutes after my viewing. It was sold because the buyer after me made an offer straight away. There is another unit that I was in the midst of price negotiation. At night I was told it was sold because the buyer could exercise the option on the spot. He doesn't need any bank evaluation, he is just that loaded with money. And there's another unit, I actually lost it because the agent wanted $3,000 more from me, which I am not happy to pay because we already locked down on the pricing that we agreed on. And that agent used my offer to go and counter offer another buyer. So these are some of the things that you will encounter when you are buying a resale flat. Which is why I find that it is very crucial for you to get a very good agent to help you. Jason and Ella give me a lot of pep talks, and there's a lot of learnings along the way that I got from them, which I think is helpful for you. So this is what I thought or I learned. First, there is no perfect home. No matter how pretty the interior renovation is or whatnot, right? The interior can all be redone. You can redo it with an ID help or contractor help. But most importantly, go for the crucial factors: location, the price point, the level, the floor level that it is at, and the size. For the 4-room flat I was looking at, right, it can be ranged from 990 square feet to 1001 square feet. And you might think that this small little difference you won't feel it, but it's not true. You can actually feel that the living room and the bedrooms are slightly bigger, and also the layout of the house. If you compare Punggol Waterway Terrace unit and then maybe Anchorvale Cove unit, right, you realize that the house design layout also plays a big part. So you need to find something that you truly like, but do not base it on just the renovation itself. That's one key factor, because later on when you buy it and you regret it, the decision will come back and bite you. And MOP applies to resale flat as well. So if you buy it already, you cannot sell it until 5 years later before you can purchase again. Next thing is be patient. Go with a price that you can manage. This is especially important for myself lah. I was alone competing with a couple and a family. I will never win in the price war. So even if I win the purchase, right, I will likely incur a very huge COV. So there will be times that you lose the unit, but be patient. Along the way, as you wait, right, with good agents' help, you will find something that you like, and then you'll be within your price point as well. And thirdly, expectations. So the COV and extension is very common nowadays. Sellers want the extra cash. They also need to find a place to move out. So 2 to 3 months extension are a norm nowadays lah. And this is on top of the standard HDB purchase process. So HDB take 3 months to process the whole procedure, and then with the extra extension, right, that is the amount of time you need to wait for the flat to be yours. So if you are in a rush, do the math. Make sure you negotiate with the agents so that you can get a comfortable timeline for you to get the flat for you to move in. So very important to ask them upfront before you decided to exercise the option to purchase. And also one more tip to note, if you are taking a bank loan for any HDB, right, the maximum amount of years you can loan up to is only 25 years. HDB, I believe, is 30 years, but it also depends on your age. So if you are going for a bank loan, you will likely be paying a lot more money per month, but for a shorter time period. Yep. And finally, my journey has come to an end. So I'm just waiting for my new flat to be here and can start my renovation. Hope this video helps some of you. If you have any questions, right, do pop it down below in the comments so that I can answer them as best to my knowledge as possible. And if you want to be in good hands, right, please approach Jason and Ella. No, sorry, they don't do music videos, but they will put you at ease throughout the whole journey and guide you along the way. Importantly, I didn't pay any COV. Okay, till next time, take care, bye. Please like and subscribe,